I don't know about you, but I love sushi. In today's workout, we're calling Blue Fuji. So we've got another 4 rounds here, again, working with those 45-second working sets and those 15 seconds of recovery in between each one. So today we're gonna work through some push-ups, some alternating step-ups. We're gonna do some dips for those triceps, some alternating step-ups again, plank holds to hit that core, and again, wrapping up the workout in that round with alternating step-ups. Let's jump in. Okay, first things first, hitting up some push-ups. So if you can go from your toes, highly recommend you start there. We can always finish from the knees if you need to. We're keeping our hands underneath your shoulders, just a little bit wider than your shoulder width. Keeping that tailbone tucked, we're gonna lower the chest and the hips down at the same time towards the ground as low as you can. You don't have to necessarily get to the ground if you can't. Try to get as low as you can while still being able to press up out of that. Again, you can always go to the knees if you need to. Same concept, lowering the chest and the hips at the same time towards the ground, driving through those palms to get yourself back up to the top. If you're looking for a little more of a challenge, try to tuck your elbows in towards your sides. That'll hit the triceps a little more, make it a little bit more of a challenge there. And next, you notice we've got a bit of a taller step here. So you can either use the bottom step if you have stairs in your house, or if you want a little bit more of a challenge, we can go with the second step. Again, a little bit of balance required here, so you can always use the railings or wall if you need it. But either way, we're alternating legs and we're reaching back and down. If you can, as that back leg reaches back and you start to lower that back knee down, the further you lower that back knee, the more challenging it's gonna be. So you can find that sweet spot that's gonna allow you to keep moving while challenging those muscles. As you're working your way back into these, again, keeping the weight in that front heel. So whatever foot's still on that step, that's the heel you want to really push through, and coincidentally the same side you want to squeeze that glute nice and tight out of that low position. And using that same step or that first step, we're gonna work our way into some stair dips here. So we sit on the very edge of that step, a little bit of bend in those knees so your heels are resting as your anchor points, and we slide our butt just off the edge there with our hands still on the step, and we're lowering the hips and the back of the butt down towards the ground while keeping your lower back close to the step. So really pushing hard through those palms as you straighten those arms out of that low position. That's gonna help ensure we're recruiting those triceps, which is right in the back of those arms. That's a highly sought after area that a lot of people wanna work. This is definitely one of the best ways to do it. So control down, big push through those palms to the top. You can always adjust the depth here. If going all the way butt to the floor is a little too challenging, you can always make it a little more shallow too. Well, if you really enjoyed that first round of those alternating step-ups, good news, we've got plenty more to go. So same concept here, both feet start on that step. We're gonna reach one leg back to the ball of the foot, slowly lower that down, and push through that top heel to bring yourself back up to the top there. Again, we're alternating with each repetition here, and whatever leg is in the front, that whatever leg is still on the step, that's the foot we want to push through that heel, and that's the glute we want to really squeeze nice and tight to get ourselves back up to the top. Try to challenge yourself to not use the wall or railings, but if you do need it, obviously make sure you're using those. That'll help us make sure maybe we can get a little lower, really prioritizing the strength there. But if you can forego it for a little bit, that'll help improve your balance and stability. Okay, next one, pretty straightforward here. We're going down to the ground, resting on your elbows. So we want your elbows stacked right underneath your shoulders, and we've got that tailbone tucked, and we're propping right up onto those toes for a plank. So plank is one of the most amazing movements you can do, even though there's really no movement in it. It's ecstatic tension that we're creating that work into those abdominals, and our goal here is to really make sure we're doing it correctly, is to tuck your tailbone underneath as you hold. So if you start to feel your lower back arch, reestablish that tuck of the tailbone and try to crunch harder into those abdominals as you hold that plank. You can do this, it's 45 seconds, and then you'll have that rest. And to finish out the rest of this round, we have one more time on that step for that alternating step up. Again, really keeping the weight in that top heel and pushing through that heel as you come out of that low position, giving that glute a good squeeze on that same side. So we're alternating with each step, working our way through the 45 seconds, and then you'll be done one round. So how are those legs feeling? Hopefully they're a little toasty, but you still have 3 more rounds left for a total of 4. Keep moving, make sure you really charge those rest periods and get down for that next transition. But post a sweaty selfie and some comments, let us know what you thought.